said, "You're right, in a way, only I'm the one giving birth." The following years were an absolute maelstrom of activity. Countless TV and radio appearances, hundreds of news articles about yours truly, around-the-world book tours, meeting people from all walks of life, receiving fan letters from U.S. presidents and other celebrities, and having films and TV series made from my books. For a writer who spent over a decade writing short stories that never found a home, it was a bit surreal. Well, more than a bit. I remember telling myself at the time to slow down and cherish every moment, because this would only happen to me for the first time once. And I did. I kept journals chronicling all of it. I stood in constant awe of how my life had changed, how my professional dreams had been realized. That experience, above all else, made me even more empathetic to those on the outside of the glass, looking longingly in at the world in which I now resided. Because of my personal experience in the years since, I have worked to encourage and be supportive of up-and-coming writers. I led an online masterclass that lays out my process and philosophies on both the craft and business side of writing for a living. I know that the world will continue to need new, fresh voices, particularly from the parts of our society that are historically underexposed and not heard from nearly as much as they should be. Our world is diverse, and thus our stories must meet that standard. Those tales and those voices must be heard. I will never forget the feeling of being on the outside looking in at a place I so desperately wanted to belong to. Every writer goes through that. The gauntlet is long and arduous. But I also firmly believe that if you are truly meant to be a writer, you will persevere through all of it for one simple reason. You have no other option, because you can't go a single day without thinking about or writing down a story. So while I was staring dejectedly out that hotel window at midnight in Islip, New York, my hopes at their lowest point, my dream fading to near invisibility, it would be only 3 more years before all of that bleakness was reversed. The break I needed came my way at exactly the right time, and the wildest dreams of success I could have imagined actually came true. I would never suggest that what happened to me will happen to anyone else. The stars were all in alignment at that point in my life for reasons not entirely explainable. But I do know that failure is guaranteed if you stop writing. So long as the pen on the paper continues to flow or the computer keys continue their clacking, good things can happen. And dreams, even outlandish ones, can be realized. So, to all writers out there, keep going. The world needs you.
To Michelle, my dearest friend, my loving wife, my partner in crime. Without you, this dream would have remained a feeble glint in a weary eye. To my mother and father, no parents could have done any more. To my brother and sister, for putting up with a lot from their younger sibling, and still always being there for me. Chapter 1. He gripped the steering wheel loosely as the car, its lights out, drifted slowly to a stop. He felt last scraps of gravel kicked out of the tire treads, and then silence enveloped him. He took a moment to adjust to the surroundings and then pulled out a pair of worn but still effective night vision binoculars. The house slowly came into focus. He shifted easily, confidently in his seat. A duffel bag lay on the front seat beside him. The car's interior was faded but clean. The car was also stolen, and from a very unlikely source. A pair of miniature palm trees hung from the rearview mirror. He smiled grimly as he looked at them. Soon he might be going to the land of palms. Quiet, blue, see-through water, powdery salmon-colored sunsets and late mornings. He had to get out. It was time. For all the occasions he had said that to himself, this time he felt sure. 66 years old, Luther Whitney was eligible to collect Social Security and was a card-carrying member of